All right, we'll call to order. Can I get a declaration of quorum, please?
Matthews. Schuler.
Here.
Oatmeal.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
Fickner. Seymour.
Here.
Lecter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you, ma'am. This time I'd like to invite Mr. Glenn Peck to lead us in invocation, please. We all stand?
Most holy Heavenly Father, we assembled here tonight not to shoot off fireworks, but we're here to work on problems that affect real people. And thankfully, Father, we have a commission and a mayor that are real, and they have as their guiding light service to others. May that be evident in this meeting and all that come hence. I ask a blessing upon all those who are assembled. And we ask this in the holy, wonderful, coming again name of Jesus. Amen. And amen.
Thank you, sir. You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We're going to start out first with citizen participation, and first person on my list is Mr. Glenn Peck. Should have had you stay up there, Glenn.
I know you're already going weird. Your Honor, what I'm about to present, I must preface with these remarks. I am not a paid spokesperson. I am not someone that is deeply involved, but I am someone who is very, very concerned about people that help other people in our community. So tonight I bring an updated report that I think would be of interest to all who are here. Angel Tree serves 520 children. Each of those kids are involved in toys and clothes. And here's the interesting part. They came from 242 families, containing a total of 1,247 persons. Each family got a box of food. Here's something that really thrills me. Spaghetti Day, and we've had so many good dippers here, and I hope you come back and bring somebody with you. Last year, in '24, $18,000 was collected. This just concluded year '25, $25,000 was collected. Red Kittle collections, and some of you may have been bell ringers. Over 100,000, in fact, $106,560 was collected. And here's where the good news is really located. Last year, that amount was $23,000. Some of the bell ringers were paid. Our current leaders, Thomas and Leanna Marion, created an incentive this year. If you rang the bell, you got minimum wage. And if your kettle got over $500, you could pick out a meal from any restaurant and it'd be delivered to you. All got a new coat and a food box. And the top bell ringer for the season got a gift card. We are fortunate in this community, Your Honor, to have leadership at the Salvation Army. I am so pleased that these folks are get up and go. And to use a saying that was in the Air Force, where I was privileged to serve, they got it all in one sock. They got everything under control. And I thank you, Your Honor, I thank you, Commissioners, and I thank all of those who may be assembled here, as well as those who may be joining us on the television later. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Mr. Cliff Harden.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you for having me today. This will be super quick. So this is regarding the consideration to rezone the property across the street from Sequoia Elementary School for the lower income housing. You've received two opposition letters also from the community as well too, but I'm on here on behalf of some of the phone calls I've received from the parents of Sequoia as well too. I just ask that you consider to either table it for further discussion tonight, or just deny it altogether, just for rezoning purposes and the concerns of the parents from across the street from Sequoia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, on item number 2, consider approval or consent agenda. Can we get a motion on item 2? I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Call the question.
I'm sorry, you made the first and second.
First, and Mark a
I
second.
make second.
Yes.
Item carries 6-0. On item number 3, presentation of the Pet of the Month by Animal Control. Let's see what they have for us this evening.
No.
Not tonight.
Oh,
What's
I'm
that?
going home. Not tonight, they said.
I thought I saw somebody out there.
Somebody
Just into the lobby?
shook their head out there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I know, because I'm leaving if not.
Somebody shaking their head. Yes.
That was weird.
Gotta look at the dates. We gotta fix our dates. Next month. No go? No pet tonight. Well, all right,
I'm
that's a
out.
bummer.
I'm leaving.
Okay, on item number 4, consideration to reschedule the February 17, 2026 regular meetings of the Board of City Commissioner, the Board of Trustees of Shawnee Airport Authority, and the Board of Trustees of the Shawnee Municipal Authority. This item came up, so our next regularly scheduled meeting is February 17th. I know myself and 1 or 2 other commissioners will be in San Antonio on behalf of the city at a retail convention to try to bring more businesses into Shawnee. And I think maybe the city manager had a conflict with our date, so we were looking to move the date. So that's something that we need to do, figure out when we can be there, what date would work for everybody, or if we need to keep it on that date, because there may or may not be enough for quorum that date, what we're trying to squash here. And so there are, it was already moved because of President's Day. It was going to be on the 17th, which is a Tuesday. City manager, you're gone on the 20th, is that correct? Through the 25th? Myself and I think 2 commissioners are gone from the 16th to the 18th. So we could look at maybe February 9th as an alternative date.
9th and the 23rd, I'm good either way.
Pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any problem?
23rd, that's fine.
9th or the 23rd?
Either work for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both, I'm available both those days.
Both
9th and
days?
23rd.
Okay, how about the 9th?
I'm good.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Not good.
still not good.
I'll just take your verbal vote.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. So our next city council meeting will be February 9th officially. On to item number 5, consideration of a request for a preliminary plat for North Creek Villas, a replat of North Creek Manor, case number PPL 04-25, applicant Paul Bass and Landis Engineering. I call on Petya Stefanoff, interim community development director. For
Good evening,
Staff
Mayor,
report.
Commissioners.
good
The
evening.
subject property is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of 39th Street and North Kickapoo Street. Portion of the property was previously rezoned from R3, which is high-density residential, to C2, regional commercial. The area formerly known as North Creek Manor is replat that separate the newly zoned C2 from R3, as well as split that commercial zone area into a north and south track. Staff and Planning Commission recommend approval.
Any questions for Petya on item 5? Okay, can we get a motion on item number 5 then?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay, item carries 6-0. On item number 6, consideration of a request for a final plat for North Creek Villas, a replat of North Creek Manor, case number FPL 04-25, applicant Paul Bass and Landis Engineering. Once again, we'll call on Petya.
Again, upon review of the preliminary and the final plat, staff didn't find any issues that cannot be resolved during the public improvement phase, and that was the desired outcome because also the plat is separated in a north and south portion. So again, staff and planning commission recommend approval.
Okay. Any questions at all for Petya on item 6? Okay. Can we get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. On to item number 7. Public hearing of a request to rezone the property address as 1402 East Independence Street from C1 Local Commercial District to R3 High Density Residential District. Case number RZ08-25, applicant Jerry Roca and Landis Engineering. Once again, we call on Petya for staff report.
Mayor and Commissioners, so this property is located on East Independence Street, and it is surrounded by a couple different zoning areas, south of which is, I'll start with north. North is local commercial, transitional agriculture, and surrounding areas, some of them are low-density residential. So it is across the street from Sequoia Elementary School and next to sitting a church building. So that request was from C1 to R3, which is local commercial, to high-density residential for the purpose of they want to develop affordable apartment building. And staff received 2 written objections. On that case, one came during the due date to submit before Planning Commission. The other one came after that, so Planning Commission didn't see the full package, but it is included in your package. And staff and Planning Commission recommend approval.
Okay.
So I'm here to address questions.
So I think at this time we'll open the public hearing. And I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak for this agenda item.
I'm Jerry Roca, the developer.
Okay, if you will approach the podium, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for your time. Do you have any specific questions for me?
Any questions for Mr. Roca on
I
this
guess
property?
ultimately, I mean, it's a bunch of rest home rooms that we're dealing with, so I guess what's your vision of it?
So through the process, we have gone through a pre-development meeting with the city planning department, engineering, and building officials, and the fire marshal. We are proposing 26 units, 20 one-bedroom units, and 6 of them are 2 bedrooms. So this is a low-density project. The property will be fully sprinkled to meet modern fire codes. We are adding a new fire hydrant to the property. This will have a new TPO roofing, which has already been installed. It will be an all-solar system. We are currently working with Landis Engineering to design the project along with all the city officials. And this project is delivering affordable housing, which is much needed in our city. And I am currently developing 127 units in Tulsa and 38 units in Oklahoma City. So this is what we do, and I'm open for any questions.
Any other questions for Mr. Roca? Okay, thanks, sir. Anybody else here to speak for this agenda item? Okay, is there anybody here to speak against this agenda item?
Good evening. My husband and I own property that is adjacent to the old nursing home. We've lived at the property for 22 years, and over this time span, the old nursing home has been neglected. And the proposal for an additional amount of people to be in a small area there at the property is just not feasible. We currently, the building is 66 years old. It's been vacated for 15 years, neglected totally. And in our opinion, if this proposal passes, or you so decide that it should, it's going to increase the noise and nuisance with our property just 15 feet away from the fence line. It's going to increase activity on the property since it's been calm all this time. We've had peace and quiet for 15 years. It's going to be a negative impact on our property values. And plus the school is right across the street. And, you know, it's just something that's, I don't know, it's just the renovation time period, we have no information on what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, you know, so forth and so on. And like I said, the building's been old, it's been neglected, and it's just right adjacent, 15 feet from our property. And so the increased activity and whatever may go on in apartments as they so do is going to be a nuisance in our neighborhood, and it's not going to be anything that's going to be improve the environment of our neighborhood.
Ma'am, can I get your name, please?
Sure,
first?
Gail Hux. Gail, G-A-Y-L-E. Hux, H-U-C-K-S. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else here to speak against this item?
My name is Jake Borgsmiller. I live at 1404 Charles Drive. The subject's south property line traverses the entirety of my north property line. My opposition to the rezoning project is twofold. First, I do not believe the public has been properly notified. My notification, which is in the handout that I gave you guys before this, is postmarked on December 19th, 2025. The statutory minimum notification time before any public hearing is 20 days. For the Planning Commission meeting, public hearing that met on January 7th, 2026, that would be 19 days, which is 1 day less than the 20 days. I know that that may seem menial, but that would have afforded a full month for the next meeting cycle for the public to come up with their oppositions. There does not appear to be a sign which is required to be placed at the subject property to notify the passerbys of the rezoning. I did bring this up at the Planning Commission meeting, and it was acknowledged that there was a sign that was placed, and I do remember seeing that sign. However, as to the whereabouts for the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's not there. I do think that in this specific unique instance, as was spoken to before, that may be the most common way to get the public, especially the parents dropping their kids off at the school, to understand what could be going on across the street. I also have one more question. I'm not an attorney. As outlined in state law, section 3-403 of Title 43A, if enhanced notification should have been involved. What this law states is that any rezoning effort that is going to allow for multi-family usage, it should be a quarter mile of the property owners around the subject property, and it should be 30 days rather than the 20 days. We're not hearing a lot from the families from Sequoia Elementary, and I don't think it's because they don't care. I think it's because they don't know. I have 2 small children that go to elementary school, and if this was going in across the street from their school, I would like to know so I could have a voice. My second area of concern is more personal as it pertains to my personal property. You can see in the letter I have attached multiple pictures. The building does not conform to multiple Shawnee ordinances as it pertains specifically to ingress, egress, setbacks, and screenings. Adequate fencing and screening is not unique to the R3 structures. They are held to the same standards as the current zone of the building, which is C1. The current fencing and screening is absent. You can see that fence has been on the ground since March. This raises questions about the reliability of the property owners to maintain the property in a timely and lawful manner. All of the other things you guys can read in there. I really appreciate your guys' time, and I just ask that we vote against this proposal. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We have another one.
Hello, thank you for letting me be here today. My name is Jason Gates, and I don't live next to the property, but I live down the road on Autumn Lane. And I'm basically just going to kind of read what I've kind of written up here for you all. And, I'm here to voice my concern about the development of the Section 8 in government housing at that location. Although I do want to be sensitive to the needs of affordable housing for families in our community, I don't believe this current proposal is the best option for families, okay, or for the current residents that surround the property. Okay, first, the development is for the renovation of a dilapidated building, which has kind of been expressed already, into a 26-room complex, of which 20 are going to be 1-bedroom units, and then the other 6 are going to be 2-bedroom units. With this, it appears that there's going to be very limited space also on the property that can support any kind of activities if you're going to have children that live in this building. Therefore, I really question how this really supports families in our community versus just single-person needs. Therefore, I am concerned about those families who would move into the units and have younger children there. I'm also concerned about the safety of the residents of the surrounding neighborhood. Along with the employees and the students of Sequoia Elementary, due to the potential increase of the number of people living in that area, the increased traffic on Independence. If you've ever been down Independence on an afternoon after 3 o'clock, it's pretty busy already. So you can imagine if you have 26, 30 some people, living right there in that small space. It's going to add even more busyness to that area. So, and then lastly, obviously, I'm concerned about the overall property values of the homes that surround the building and just the homes that surround that whole area right there, including our homes. And I just, really question if this is the best way to create growth and to support families in Shawnee. So, I ask, are there other options for this property? The property definitely needs something done, but are there other options for this? Like duplexes and triplexes, I don't know, smaller homes for real families versus a 1 or 2 bed apartment. And then, I ask all of you, if this was going in your neighborhood, what would you say and how would you be okay with that? Wherever it is that you live, whether it's the country club or the Woodlands or whether it's the Timbers or Northridge, would you be okay with this going next door to you? Would you be okay with this going across from the street from where your school or from where your kids go to school? And so, I ask you to think about those kind of things. So even though I want to have compassion for people and that, we do need, housing for these people that have economic issues, I want to show empathy to them, but I also want to show empathy and consideration for the current residents and the surrounding community in order to make a win-win solution. All right? Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Rob Morris. I don't live over there, but I went to Sequoia and I remember that nursing home well. It's kind of to point out, back when it was a nursing home, you had staff and then family that would show up, and it wasn't a ton. So if you're going to have 20 and 6, there's at least 26 cars. Where does the overflow go? Is it going to be right in Sequoia School so that Monday morning when they're dropping off kids, oh man, somebody left their car here right in the parking lot? Nothing against Section 8 people. Not all of them are bad by any means. There are bad apples, and having that across the street from the school is a bad idea. Now, the idea itself, to do that with an old nursing home, is not a bad idea. The location is a bad idea across from the school. This should be a pretty easy one. Thank you.
Sir? Anybody else to speak against this agenda item? Okay, at this time, we'll close the public hearing, move on to item number 8. Consideration of an ordinance to rezone the property addressed at 1402 East Independence Street from C1 Local Commercial District to R3 High Density Residential. Case number RZ08-25, applicant Jerry Roca and Landy's Engineering. Phone Petcha one more time.
As I mentioned, when we look the application, we recommended approval, when the commission recommended approval. So if you have any additional questions, I'll address them.
Was his question answered on the 19 versus 20 days? Were we following proper guidelines?
The city attorney looked into this matter and determined that notice was proper, that the enhanced notification requirements referred to are not applicable in this case.
Any other questions for Petcha?
I'm good.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to, sorry,
No, you're good.
to defer this item to next month's meeting. I've just this evening found out some more information on it. I think there's a couple of loose ends that need to be tied up.
Also, can we ask about a traffic study? We've done traffic studies in the past.
The school is a problem.
Right. Can we ask for a traffic study? Because we've done that in the past, like by Gordon Cooper and stuff.
Because I know since they redid the parking lot, everything's coming off of Sequoia. It's a mess over there right now. If they start coming back off of Independence, it was a mess even then.
So that'll give us more time. So
I agree.
I think we need to look at it a little harder.
Second year deferral.
Okay.
This is we're deferring.
Yes.
Okay.
She get on there at the very bottom.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. We're going to defer item number 8 to next month's meeting. So carry on to item number 9. Public hearing of a request to rezone a portion of the property addressed as 4731 North Union Avenue from R3 High Density Residential District to C2 Regional Commercial District, case number RZ09-25, applicant Union Street Condominiums, LLC, Johnson and Associates. I'm calling Petya once more for staff report.
Commissioners, Mayor, so there was a request for this property to be rezoned from R3 to C2 for the purpose of personal storage, self-storage facility. Currently, it is on R3, which is high-density residential area, with similar zoning to the west and southeast, a small strip of R1, low-density residential. Zoning lies to the north, with more R1, low-density residential to the east. So the request C2 zoning is present to the north and to the south, with some C1 local commercial to the northeast. When we looked at the application, we didn't see any problems, so staff and City Planning Commission recommends approval.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. This time, we'll open the public hearing on this item and ask if there's anybody here to speak for item number 9.
Good evening. My name is Mitchell Moore with Johnson Associates in Oklahoma City. Like you said, we're rezoning this hopefully to C2 to allow for personal self-storage facility. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Mitchell?
Would this be like a U-Haul self-storage, or will it be a franchise type?
I don't believe they have a user or an operator picked out yet, but similar product.
Anything else for Mr. Mitchell?
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else here to speak for this agenda item? Okay, anybody here to speak against this item? Okay, at this time, we'll close public hearing. And on item number 10, consideration of an ordinance to rezone a portion of the property addressed as 4731 North Union Avenue from R3 High Density Residential District to C2 Residential Commercial District, case number RZ09-25. Applicant Union Street Condominiums, LLC, Johnson Associates. Call Petya one more time.
Again, as I mentioned, when we looked at the application, we didn't see that this will create any future problems for the area to rezone it. So staff and Planning Commission recommend approval.
Did we rezone this not too long ago already?
I cannot recall.
Is this part of the same property on the corner?
We did the
We
corner.
did the corner.
The corner a little bit south.
Is this part of that same property though?
I don't think
No,
so.
it's-
Is this
Not.
This is
Okay.
across from the apartments. Is that correct?
Across from Chapel Ridge?
Across the street.
Across the street from the apartments. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Can we just get that up here?
Ah,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so there's the apartment complex. I do believe we rezoned this 4 years ago or so.
okay.
But what you're referring to, Mayor, is south of that.
Right,
Yes.
south
On
on
the
the,
intersection
45th.
that's not pictured.
Yeah,
at the intersection.
right. Okay, so the highlighted area is what we're talking about. Yep.
And what is the remainder of the property still going to be R3?
Yes, that's the intent for now, to keep that as R3 and develop that in the future.
And then the property due north of that is commercial, is that correct?
Yes.
And then the property due south is what we just
There is a
rezoned.
There is a just tiny strip of low-density residential, but about that is commercial.
Okay. And then what is due east of that?
It's a strip of high-density residential that transitions to low-density residential.
That'd be over Cardinal Point Way.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Petia? Or anybody? Okay. Can we get a motion on item number 10, please?
I move to not approve the rezoning.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
So your motion is to not approve, correct?
Correct. To decline.
Yes.
Okay, the motion for denial passes 5-1. On to item number 11, consider bids, Shawnee Twin Lake Dam Number 1 Rehabilitation Project. Calling Seth Barkheimer, Director of Engineering, for staff report. Hi,
Thank you,
Seth.
Mr. Mayor. As you just said, this is a bid award for Shawnee Twin Lake Dam Number 1 Rehabilitation Project. This is for the vegetative removal on the downslope on the backside of the dam. We opened bids on January 6th, 2026. At that bid opening, we had 5 bids. Since then, staff, along with our design consultants, has reviewed the bids. At this time, staff recommends awarding to Landshape LLC the base bid in the amount of $415,800. The project is funded as part of a $1 million state ARPA grant we got, and it is a part of the CIP. Happy to answer any questions you guys have in addition to that, though.
So that's all on the north side of the dam, I presume?
Yes, sir. It's on the downslope. Yep. Yes, sir.
So how far are they going down?
All the way to the toe.
Okay.
Yeah, so the dam slopes down and it kind of benches out where we have trucks, and then it slopes down again. For years, the city has maintained to that first bench and kind of back down, but we're clearing the vegetation all the way to the toe of the dam.
Awesome.
How often does that need to happen? I know we haven't done it in a long time, but how long will this mitigate? Or how long
Well,
will
we
it-
should do annual maintenance that prevent it ever from being in this condition again, so hopefully we never have to do this again.
And then we can just,
Yeah, we should just be able to mow it annually now, and
Okay.
then we won't ever have to do it again.
okay.
Which it stays pretty wet down below there.
Very, very wet. Yes, it always has like standing water.
Yeah, this isn't on the flat ground that stays pretty wet. This is actually on the
On the
slope.
slope.
Yeah.
On the slope headed to that area, so.
Yeah, but that job of taking all this out, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Seth? Okay, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
A motion and a second.
Yes.
Item 11 carries 6-0. On item number 12, acknowledge a monthly sales tax report. I'm calling Kimberly Hoover, Finance Director, for staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The sales tax for January totaled $2,618,365.91, which includes $3,489.82 in interest. This revenue is distributed across 8 funds. The receipts in January are from estimated December sales and final sales of November. January 2026 collections had a 1.96% decrease over January of last year. When comparing collections to the conservative budget projections for January, we are 4.06 below projections for the month and even collections year to date. Use tax for January totaled $434,969.10, which is 0.56% below projected collections for the month. When you combine the use tax to the general fund portions of the sales tax, the general fund is currently $62,708 above budget projections. On the third to the last page is the report is a sales tax collections comparison chart by month for the last 12 months. This comparison includes Shawnee's peer cities, Yukon, Ardmore, Muskogee, Barksville, Stillwater, and Eden. These cities were selected with 3 factors in mind: population, city tax rate revenue, and revenue per 1% sales tax. Some of the cities saw an increase, some saw a decrease from January 25 to January 26. On the second to last page of the report is the use tax collection comparison report for the last 12 months. This comparison includes the same Shawnee's peer cities. All cities saw a decreased use tax from January 25 to January 26. On the last page of the report is a graph that shows the year-over-year sales tax growth by month. It also captures the South Region Consumer Price Index as well as the average year-over-year change for Shawnee sales tax receipts over the last 12 months. 3 of the last 5 months have seen a downward trend when you look, when you look at year-over-year, year by month. I'll answer any questions.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
I actually had one, if I can find it. So sales tax receipts year-to-date, we are $330 to the good
Yes.
from the projected budget. How can you get any, I mean, how
I
can you
feel
get
like it'd be
closer than that?
closer.
Lucky.
I
I
mean,
feel like
it's
it could be
0.00%.
So
I'm not
December would have a
impressed.
December sales maybe.
I mean, that's just sales tax, right?
Yes.
But I mean, that just blows me away. That out of 2.7 million, we're $330? Really? Okay, I mean, it's a mixed bag, obviously, it's up and down, but
Yes.
that is crazy.
Great
Any more
job.
questions for Kim?
Yeah, great job.
Yeah, whoever
you.
made that up was pretty,
Yeah.
pretty tight.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, administrative report, item number 13, presentation of the quarterly 2018 half-cent sales tax quarterly report. Seth Barkheimer, Assistant City Manager, please.
Sir, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's that time again. As you know, every quarter, we give an update on the half-cent sales tax. And we're now looking back on the fourth quarter of 2025. So I'll be brief today. Don't have a ton of information over the quarter to share specifically, but did want to start a conversation specifically in the public safety portion of the sales tax. So first off, just a small refresher and some background. The 2018 sales tax election passed in June of 18 and added a half cent to existing sales tax. That rate went into effect in October of 18 and is set to expire September 30th of 2028. The special sales tax is allocated for capital improvements with 25% for public safety, 25% for streets and roads, and the remaining 50% for parks and public facilities. We're going to talk tonight more about the public safety subsection, but as you look at the numbers overall, thus far we've collected $27 million and we've expended $26.2 million. Chief Krawanick's going to talk to you a little bit about that $800,000 here in a minute probably, but I don't have any major updates on parks and public facilities or streets and roads, but with that we'll move into public safety. Wanted to take this opportunity to get Chief Krawanick up here and provide an update and just some food for thought on the public safety subsection. With that said, I'll turn it over to James and let him talk to you guys a little bit about this subsection.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners.
Morning, James.
As you know, the original CIP list approved by the City Commission in April of 2018 identified 4 priorities for the fire department. Improvements to Fire Station 1, improvements to Fire Station 3, the purchase of a new fire engine, and construction of a fire training structure. I'm pleased to report that we have successfully completed the Fire Station 3 renovation and addition. And we have purchased a new fire engine, which we are patiently awaiting on delivery of. Should be any day. They just put the lettering on last Friday. I got some updates, which we're really excited to get this truck. So as we evaluate the remaining funds, we reviewed the cost of a fire training structure, which under current market conditions typically ranges from approximately $1 to $6 million, depending on scope and design. These facilities are costly due to specialized construction materials, integrated safety systems, and environmental controls required for live fire training. Comparable projects in neighboring and regional cities have fallen within this same range. Based on the funding that remains available, a full training structure and complete renovations to Fire Station 1 are not financially feasible at this time. As we continue this discussion, staff is seeking the Commission's input on directing the remaining public safety funds toward targeted renovations at Fire Station 1 as a practical and responsible use of the sales tax dollars. This approach would allow us to address our most immediate facility needs while remaining consistent with the original intent of the approved funding. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Chief on this item? No. Thank you, sir. On item number 14, new business. Any new business, Mr. City Manager?
No, sir.
Okay. On item number 15, Commissioner comments. We're starting over here tonight.
Making me do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I wasn't ready. I had time. Some of you may have heard it's debatably that he's the favorite city employee, Seth Barkheimer, today is his last day. And he's sitting over there grinning. He's still gonna be with us, and we're excited to keep him at least part way, and we can drag him in here or there. But we just, everyone that interacts with Seth just says they love Seth. So, we're gonna be missing some pieces without Seth, but hopefully he'll save us when we need him. So, but I think some of the changes that are happening within city management I think it's looking good. So I'm excited to have that. And good luck.
Is it my turn? Congratulations, Seth. You will be missed, but never forgotten.
Dang, he's not going very far, dude.
I'm looking forward to the new year. Let's hit the ground running. Let's get some work done, and that's pretty much all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. What's your figure?
Peace out, Seth. I don't know if you're replaceable. I'll just say that. It's going to be hard. Go ahead.
I appreciate what Seth's done. He's been a pleasure to work with, so we're definitely going to miss him daily, but he'll still be in the background, which I think is a plus. Finance, it's flat, so it's kind of, we're in that hold-on range. So we'll see, new stuff coming in ought to help, but only time will tell. Everybody needs to stay safe over the weekend because it looks like we're fixing to have a mess. That's about all I've got.
Good luck, Seth. I didn't have much else to say either, other than we appreciate everything you've done. I saw the several-page list of all the projects and the dollar amounts that you've put towards the city in your efforts, and so I appreciate it very much.
He left it better than he showed up.
Yeah, he left it better than he showed.
Yep.
Yep.
I would like to thank everybody that came out tonight to speak. That shows your civic engagement. We are listening to everybody that talks. We are taking everything in consideration, one way or the other, win, lose, or draw, but we do listen and we do care. That's why we're up here. And I'd just like to say thank you for coming out and expressing your opinions. And on Seth, I haven't known Seth that long, but he's the one guy in this room that's more excited than me about getting a new sewer plant. I mean, that is like, we're infrastructure nerds. We talk about the water distribution and, how sewer plants work. And we all know that he's really good at that. And every contractor that I've visited with since I've been in this position all have nothing but high praise for Seth. So while I'm sad to see him go, I'm excited for his future because he's chasing the American dream. And I wish him all the luck. All the luck. Thank you. Okay, at this time, by the power of the chair, I'm going to recess from the council meeting. And we can just vote verbally. We're going to go to the Shawnee Airport Authority meeting. So we don't have to go in our computer. We're just going to take verbal roll call. And item number 1 is consider approval of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Got a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Sorry, I kind of rushed that.
My first.
Second, Ashley.
Stevens?
Yes.
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 Victor?
Yes.
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 Okay, item carries 6-0. Item number 2, any new business? Any new business, Mr. City Manager? Okay, we'll adjourn from the Shawnee Airport Authority, reconvene in the Shawnee Municipal Authority. If I can find it. And item number 1, consider approval of consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have O'Neill and Richter. Yes.
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 Item carries 6-0. Any new business, Mr. City Manager?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll adjourn from the Shawnee Municipal Authority meeting and reconvene in the City Commission meeting by power of the chair. And we will, item number 16, consider an executive session in accordance with 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with the advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, specifically regarding Potawatomi County case number CJ-2023-468 relating to the Fairview Mausoleum. This time we will, oh, wait, we got to do a motion.
I make a motion to move to executive session.
A second.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes.
Item carries 6-0. We're now recessed and go into executive session.
recording? I
Okay.
can unlock my car from you, my phone.
Reconvene city commission meeting by power of the chair. Item number 17, consider matters discussed in executive session in accordance with 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process a claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, specifically regarding Potawatomi County case number CJ-2023-468 relating to the Fairview Mausoleum. Can we get a motion on this item? Okay, no motion, no action. Item 17 is done, and we are adjourned.